Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. So now me and my group want to present about our research study, which is flood issue in Malaysia. So let's go and find out what my group want to discuss about this issue. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to everybody. I hope you guys in a good condition. My name is Muhammad Afiq bin Abdul Wahab. Now I want to present about introduction of my research study. The first is about the background of study. So my research this time include an issue that often plague Malaysia every year, which is the issue of flood issue that occur at the end of the year or during the monsoon season. Next is problem statement. So the problem that arise in this issue should be studied in terms of history of the flood itself, the causes, the effect, and especially the step to deal with this issue effectively. Next, the purpose of study is to study in depth or in detail about the history of the flood in Malaysia, the causes of flood, the effects of flood, and how to deal with them. Next, the objective of this study is we have four main objectives that I have mentioned before, which is to study the history of flood, the causes of flood, the impact of the flood, and effective measure in dealing with this flood issue. So other than that, it's a research question. This research question was made based on four main objectives that I have mentioned before, and to achieve all the four objectives. In addition, the significance of the study is actually to help improve the quality of existing flood control, to further reduce the impact or to prevent this flood issue from becoming worse. The last is the scope of study, where in this study we collect data through quantitative methodology, which is by creating survey questionnaire that are answered by students and staff from UniKL MyTech Pasir Gudang who come from various states in Malaysia, and they also may be part of the flood victim, so they can share their experience and answer all the questions in the survey. So that's all from me. Thank you.
And hi. So floods are natural catastrophes which happen frequently in Malaysia and have an impact on many sectors of society, including the environment. So these floods is a tragedy that often affect high-risk locations such as Kelantan, Terengganu, and Pahang on Malaysia's east coast. So this literature review will look at the many aspects of Malaysia's flood problem, including causes, consequences, mitigating techniques, and in Malaysia. Based on article written by author, it's explained that the flood issue is a natural tragedy that people cannot prevent, but we can prepare for it. The flood causes major economic losses, environmental damage, and health risk. Flood mitigation initiatives include more durable and systematic barriers and drainage system, as well as non-structural techniques, including early warning system, public awareness campaign, and sustainable land use planning to enhance resilience and reduce the effect of future flood. These issues must be addressed via continuing investigation, collaboration through authorities, and public participation. Three of flood issues. Malaysia's tropical environment and monsoon season have resulted in constantly flooding, forcing the creation of various flood mitigation initiatives in the past. Initially, the primary focus was of responding to catastrophe, providing relief, and transporting people to the safer areas. Historically, flood management utilized the construction of barriers, flood walls, and drainage system to regulate of flow the water and limit damage in the flood-prone areas. As cities develop and floods become more regular and severe, it becomes evident that just creating structures will not mitigate the mounting problem. The writing about the support decides that showing how Malaysia's emphasis on infrastructure-focused methods result in gaps in long-term flood mitigation, particularly when environmental factor increase the risk. Policymakers recognize the needs for more effective and proactive answer to existing and upcoming flood issues in Malaysia. For the first one is monsoon and heavy rainfall. One of the primary causes of flooding in Malaysia is a combination of heavy rain and high tides. River floods happen when there is too much rain in the upstream areas, preventing the river channel from directing huge amount of water to the sea. For the second is the increasing of soil erosion. Operation and activities in the upstream areas such as agriculture and lodging increase soil erosion by many times, and every time it rains, silt and sand are transported to the riverbed, forming deposits. The third is drainage of rain catchment areas. Lodging activities that become more and more alarming each year reduce forest cover, particularly in rain catchment regions. Flooding is also caused by unplanned urban growth activities, which are frequently connected to the river decline. And the last one is poor drainage system. Pile of rubbish, woods and rocks in drainage systems can disrupt and restrict water flow. The water flow preventing rains from draining immediately in the case of heavy rainfall. Impact from flood issues. Flooding will affect the ecosystem and local communities significantly. Flooding has enormous impact on both the ecology and local inhabitants. Second, if flooding may be harmful to the environment, according to Ramli and Yusof, the water floods increase the city by destroying infrastructure and affecting water supplies. The third is flood. Water may transport toxic substance, chemicals and waste, pollution river and groundwater, and cause major health concerns such waterborne infection. And the last, flooding will also affect the business, trade and transportation throughout the countries, resulting in economic losses. For example, flooding in agriculture areas can cause flood shortage and price increase, which affects the country's economies.
The methodology chapter serves as the backbones of any research study, as it outlines the tools and processes used to collect and analyze data. So for this introduction, I will be explaining about the research approach and data analysis on our topic, that is flood issues in Malaysia. I also will be providing a relevant image of flooding in Malaysia and data collection tools. For example, in this study, we are using a survey form. So methodology by definition is the foundation of the studies that ensures reliable and valid findings. Our focus here is to understand flood issues in Malaysia via UNIKL MyTech student and staff. So the primary focus of this chapter is to explain the steps taken to collect and analyze data. The research employed a quantitative approach due to its ability to measure variables, test hypotheses, and generate numerical insights that can be generalized to a larger population. So the study targeted students and staff from UNIKL MyTech who hail from various states across Malaysia. These diverse perspectives are crucial to understanding the multifaceted nature of flood-related issues in the country. So next, we move to research analysis. What is research analysis? Research analysis is a systematic process that involves examining, interpreting, and organizing data to extract meaningful insights that address the research objective. There are three types of research method. That is quantitative, which uses numerical data to test hypotheses and identify patterns. And next is qualitative, which explore in-depth understanding of non-numerical data. And lastly is mixed method, which combines both approach for comprehensive result. Our chosen method for this study is quantitative because it is suitable for large-scale data collection and statistical evaluation. It also able to identify trends, test hypotheses, and forecast results. The advantages of using research analysis is its ability to generalize findings are legit and trusted. So for research instrument used by our group is survey questionnaire, which divided to 3 sections. Section A provide a demographic information, for example, hometown and flood experience of respondent. Meanwhile, for section B, focusing on respondent opinions on flooding issues. And lastly is section C, which collecting suggestion for flood prevention improvement from our respondent. Our targeted group of the survey will be students and staff from Unica and MyTech, and the focus is to understand the main issues and solutions regarding the topic. Data collection is a critical step in this research process as it provides the raw material for analysis and insight. For this study, data was collected using an online survey distributed via Google Forms. So this method was chosen for its convenience and accessibility, allowing participants to complete the survey at their convenience. This diversity was essential to ensure that the findings reflected a wide range of perspectives and experience. Efforts were made to encourage participants by providing clear instruction and ensuring anonymity to protect respondent privacy. The online format also made it easier to reach a larger audience, increasing the study's reliability and generalizability. Next, we move to data analysis. Data analysis involves organizing and evaluating the collected data to extract meaningful insight. The goal is to use this insight to make informed decisions and address the research problem effectively. There are few steps in data analysis. The first one is data cleaning, organizing data, statistical evaluation, and lastly interpretation. Why it is important? To ensure the accuracy and reliability in findings, and also helps in making informed conclusion and recommendation.
So for the first question, actually we use quantitative method, which is by giving questionnaire to our respondents, which is our target for the respondents is from Unica and MyTech itself. So for the first question, we're asking about the age of respondent, and the majority of the respondents, which is 85.7%, are at the age of group 19 to 25. For the second question, the questionnaire asks about the respondent experience of flood, whether or not they have been experienced of floods, and the majority of 54.3 of respondents have their experience on enduring the flood disaster. Third question, we ask about the frequency flood in the respondent area, and majority of the respondents, which is 47.1%, shows that they are living in the high frequency floods area, as they are answering annually, which is concerning. And the fourth question that we ask to the respondent, which is state that affected to flood annually, and majority of respondent, which is 82.8%, is aware of Kelantan state is the most area that having floods annually. Next question, the questionnaire is about Kuala Lumpur first grade flood, and the majority of respondent, which is 68.6%, acknowledge the first grade flood in Malaysia that occurs in Kuala Lumpur. Instead, we ask about does the government help during the floods, and majority of respondents, which is 88.8%, aware of the government helps during the floods. And next is the factor contributing to flood. Majority of respondents, which is 54.3%, agree of heavy rainfall are the main factor of flooding that happen in Malaysia. Next is we ask about the climate change to the respondent, whether or not the climate change affected flood patterns in Malaysia, and majority of respondents, which is 47.1, which is moderately, said that climate change affected the flood moderately, and there are other main reasons for flooding patterns to happen, and they are not agree and not disagree with this statement. So next is the immediate effects of floods, and majority of respondents said that, which is 91.4% of respondents agree of the immediate effect that can be seen after floods is the damage of property. After that, we asked about the managing and mitigate flooding according to the respondent, and majority of the respondent, which is 68.5%, ensure to improve the drainage system in Malaysia as a measure to manage and mitigate flooding. After that, we asked the respondent about the floods, whether it can be overcome if the government play their role right. And majority of respondents, which is 80%, is agree of the government can overcome flood issue if they play their role right and responsibly. And for the last question, we asked about the East Coast annual floods, whether or not it cannot be stopped, and majority of respondents are aware, which is 45.7% agree and aware that floods can happen at East Coast Malaysia cannot be stopped at the moment.
Assalamualaikum. Today I want to talk about conclusion. Okay, firstly, flooding as a persistent issue. Malaysia tropical climate and heavy monsoon rains make it highly easily exposed to flooding. Human induced activities such as rapid urbanization, deforestation and inadequate infrastructure intensify the problem. Okay, second, historical context and impacts. Historical flood events such as the Johor floods 2006 until 2007 caused extensive damage, highlighting the severity of the issue. Immediate impact include property damage, displacement and health risk, while long-term effects include economic loss and environmental degradation. Okay, key findings. Poor drainage system and inadequate urban planning are major contributors to flooding. Second, vulnerable population face the greatest challenge in recovering from flood disaster. Okay, environmental degradation, including soil erosion and water pollution, exacerbates flood risks. Okay, next I want to talk about recommendations. Okay, I have 5. Firstly, infrastructure enhancement. Upgrade and maintain drainage system to handle increased rainfall. Construct retention basins and flood barriers in high-risk areas. Okay, secondly, community engagement. Launch educational campaigns on flood preparedness and risk mitigation. Involve local communities in maintaining drainage system and reforestation effort. Okay, number 3, nature-based solutions. Implement reforestation projects and restore wetland to reduce runoff. Protect floodplains and designate them as conservation areas. Okay, number 4, technological innovation. Use AI driving flood prediction model and GIS mapping for better risk assessment. Invest in advanced meteorological tools for accurate flood forecasting. Okay, number 5, policy and collaboration. Strengthen land use regulation and ensure interagency coordination, collaborate regionally and globally for shared expertise in flood management. By integrating these strategies, Malaysia can significantly enhance in flood resilience, protecting life, property and the environment for future generations. Okay, just that. Thank you.